lost him. And you know what? It was just about to get good, too. It was just getting good. We lost
Should
him.
we take the break and maybe he'll call back? I don't know.
You know what? We can take the break, and we can see if Ethan can reconnect with him, because I want to hear where he goes with that answer. I don't know. CJ, I'm just saying, we just started bringing up some deep stuff, and then it gets cut off. Is the Illuminati listening to the show? Just saying.
Welcome back to the show. 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock?
That's it. I'm going home.
Dang, man.
See ya.
I wouldn't even be on the air on any of our stations before 8 o'clock. I don't know where that came from. Reading, it's hard.
Well, I think when you have a... I'll say in all candor, when you're in a foreign country and a monkey in a diaper sitting on your head, you're asking for trouble.
Discussion can end there. That's right. Boom. It's a definitive statement on the issue. Now we move on.
So how many times have you thought about that was a bad idea that I had a monkey on my head since you had the monkey on your head?
Every time I go visit Dr. Pellegrino, my personal doctor. Do you know what it's like to tell your doctor that?
Well, yeah, Doc, I also had a monkey. Excuse me? Had a monkey on my head with a diaper on. Imagine that's the first time Dr. Ron has ever heard that one. He's probably heard a lot of things.
He's heard a lot. Yeah, Dr. Ron has.
He's one of the great West Virginians. He's up there from the Northern Panhandle.
He's awesome.
Tremendous. Yeah, Dr. Ron. Good dude.
We were talking in my office a little earlier, and a phrase that Ryan used that I was really kind of gobsmacked over. He started a sentence with me. He said, "We were watching football on Thursday."
I know, he did the same thing to me. He did this. Is this like Earth 2?
I said, what?
He came back and started telling me about the Cowboys and the Chiefs game.
I know.
And you were watching the Lions game on Thanksgiving Day.
Well,
what happened? What happened to our little Ryan?
Well, when my Uncle Bill and my Uncle Chris asked if I want to watch football with them, I don't say no.
Okay.
So, because I'm not a recluse anymore.
So if you have uncles that are big sports fans, do you get some creds? Are you like, hey, I'm actually you want to kind of sports show? Syndicated.
Well, I don't.
Statewide.
Well, I don't want this to be a sports show.
Second game this season that Honors had 8 threes. Second time he's had 8 threes, and his coach has pulled him out with over 4 minutes to go.
You're up 40.
Yeah, but coach just does not want to see him get that record.
There may have been a discussion about that on exactly where he was in the number.
Did you let him know this time?
But there was a discussion about where he was with the number. But at the end of the day, Ross decided the juice not worth the squeeze there. With 3.5 minutes left is when he pulled him out after the timeout there. And that's a guy with a lot of minutes on his in his body. You need to rest him. But 2 out of 11, you got to think maybe he's going to approach that again. Here's what's wild. In those 2 games where he's just been one off of Alex Ruoff's record, he's now a combined 16 of 20 from 3 in those 2 games. So he didn't just make 8 threes, guys. He was 8 of 11 last night. He was 8 of 9 when he did it before. 16 of 20 combined in those 2 games.
Across this great state of West Virginia, welcome in high school game nights. I chuckle a little bit, folks, because it said early edition.
As compared to the
only
rest
edition.
Of the edition, yeah.
Yeah. Tonight is going to be interesting, to say the least.
10 seconds remaining.
Going to be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
You had a moment of clarity about when it all started to make sense for you?
It did, because I didn't want to be a filmmaker growing up. I didn't even know what filmmaking was growing up. I used to watch Oprah and Katie Couric, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a journalist. Yeah. I wanted to be you. And I worked at West Virginia University's radio station, had a very thick accent. People would call in and make fun of me. And so I asked my roommates, my college roommates who are from Baltimore, to teach me how to talk differently.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a loss, I feel, from that. And it's probably one of the reasons why I love documenting people that are authentic. Like, I don't know if I'm authentic, but I think the people I find are very authentically who they are, and that's what draws me to them.
Good Monday morning. It is Groundhog Day. Hopefully this day doesn't happen over and over and over again. It's Metro News Talk Line. We're underway.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the Metro News Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is Metro News Talk Line with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set line up link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Cue Dave and TJ. You're on. Metro News Talk Line is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave Wilson of Morgantown. TJ is at the mobile studios this morning. Zach Karolchek is our video producer. And I forgot to check to see who's on the audio side this morning. I'll do that during the next break. 800-765-TALK is the phone number, 800-765-8255. You can text the show at 304-TALK-304. Lots to get to today. The candidate filing period closed on Saturday. Who's in, who's not? What do we think? We'll talk about that coming up. Mike Pushkin will join us second hour, the Democratic Party chair here in West Virginia. Democrats did pretty good putting names on the ballots. A couple of good candidates out there as well. We'll talk to Mike about that. Brad McElhinny from the state capitol as well. TJ Meadows, good morning to you, sir. Oh, wait a minute.
Cheated.
There you go.
Good morning. I feel kind of cheated, though, in the fact that none of the cable TV news outlets are running the partial shutdown clock. I mean, we're shut down. We should have a counter. And they're not doing that this go around. So Johnson says he's got the votes, Dave. Have it back fully open by Tuesday. We'll see.
We will find out. So I guess anything DHS, Coast Guard, Department of Defense kind of things are shut down. It's not a full-scale shutdown. It's just a lapse, TJ. It's not really a shutdown. It's kind of a hiccup, right?
It's that one bill. It's DHS, but a lot in DHS. So, we'll get into that.
Speaking of that, Jared Halpern will join us coming up second hour. We'll find out the latest on Capitol Hill as President Trump has been reportedly right in the middle of all of these talks. But let's start here at home. As we mentioned, the candidate filing period ended on Saturday night, and one of the names that jumped out to us, actually this was all breaking Friday as we were on the air, filing to run for U.S. Senate, Democratic Party nomination for U.S. Senate, former state senator Jeff Kessler. And Jeff Kessler joins us on Metro News Talk Line this morning. Jeff, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Dave.
So what prompted you to go ahead, throw your name in the hat, and run for the Democrat Party nomination for U.S. Senate?
Well, Dave, this isn't something I had longed to do, and truthfully, I hadn't sat around during my last 10 years where I've been out of the public service to say, how can I get back in and run and get back on a ballot? And, I'm perfectly content back here practicing law, taking care of my clients, taking care of the people in my community, solving their problems. But, the biggest thing that was probably the biggest impetus for me jumping into the race is, the votes that were made, by our U.S. Senator to cut health care benefits for the people of the state of West Virginia. I was instrumental back in 2012 in ensuring that the Affordable Care Act was implemented here in West Virginia to make affordable more available for those without insurance, available and affordable for those in West Virginia. And when we passed that back in 2012, or agreed to enroll in that, and I worked with then Governor Earl Ray Tomlin to make that happen, it actually improved the lives of, tens of thousands of West Virginia. I think we went from having like nearly a 20% uninsured rate in West Virginia to almost 5%. That meant there were numerous people. That meant, there was tens of thousands of people that were eligible for health insurance that previously could not. Now, I can tell you with the cuts that were made under the big, beautiful bill, that has already, with the rollback of the subsidies, that has already affected 67,000 West Virginians who have seen their health insurance premiums skyrocket, not go up by a few dollars, not $20. They've gone from $300 and $400 a month to $2,000 a month. People in this state can't afford that. Also, there's over 520,000 people in West Virginia that are on Medicaid. 70% of the people in nursing homes are elderly, are on Medicaid. 46% or so of the people that are childbirth in West Virginia are on Medicaid. The rural hospitals depend on it. The cuts that are going to be made to Medicaid are going to adversely affect over 500,000 people in this state. That you add up the 500,000 people that are going to lose or have their Medicaid benefits cut, together with the 67,000 that have seen their premiums skyrocket, 600,000 people, a third of our 1.8 million people in this state, are going to be adversely affected by that decision. And I've been sitting around wondering and asking, why did Senator Capito vote in that fashion? I've not heard a good answer. Why would you screw a third of the people of this state?
Senator, how would you pay for it? This country is in a fiscal nightmare, deficit after deficit, growth in our debt. I don't know, even with the Trump tax cuts, if you rolled all of that back, that you would still have enough money to pay for all of the entitlements and the ACA subsidies. So what would you do to change it?
Well, you can't be giving all these pardon my French, all these rollbacks to millionaires and billionaires and to corporations that, frankly, my background's in economics. That trickle-down economics has never worked, ever. And yet we're going to say we're going to keep, there's been a larger explosion of millionaires and particularly billionaires in the last year or two than there's ever been in the history of the world. You can't tell me we can afford to give money to Argentina and everybody else under the sun, but we can't take care of the people here in West Virginia and in the United States of America. Every other civilized, industrialized, advanced democracy in the world provides health insurance benefits on a scale beyond ours. We can do it. We can do anything in this country. I don't believe that you can say cry poor mouth on one hand while you're giving tax benefits to folks that don't need it. Somebody tell me why, the folks that are already extremely wealthy need a bigger break.
Jeff Kessler is joining us, former West Virginia State Senate president, served 19 years in the legislature, and will be running for the Democratic nomination for U.S. Senate in the May primary. You mentioned you wanted to focus on lowering cost. Affordability is a big term that's being thrown out there over the last several months. Jeff, where do we start to address affordability and lowering cost of living?
Well, they've got you look at your utility bills. My utility bill used to be for electric $200 a month, and now it's $387. My water bill was $125. Now it's up to $250. Everything is going up. And there's I don't think the tariffs, quite frankly, have helped at all. In that when you're talking about how it's adversely affected. And those costs are not being borne by the other countries. They get passed on to United States citizens and to the people that live in the little white houses in our state. So, I think you roll back some of those tax cuts. They are unnecessary for the very extremely wealthy, and you can start investing again in the people that live in this state. I mean, you don't cut all SNAP benefits and all these programs that are easy to run around and say, well, there's fraud and abuse and whatever. But there's fraud and abuse all over the place when and a lot of the corporate handouts that are going on. It'll take a systematic attack on inflation through the Federal Reserve and others that can try to get and maintain inflation and get it back under control.
Give me some specifics on that. What would you like the Reserve to do in order to
I think
create
they're holding the line, but I don't think you just go out and immediately cut interest rates while they're getting enormous political pressure to do. What I've seen a lot happen over the last year or two is, and certainly maybe even beyond that, is people and politicians are making decisions not based on sound public or fiscal policy, but based on how it can help them politically. And, I prided myself in my years in the legislature, and particularly the 3 or 4 years that I served as president of the Senate, with working across the aisle in a bipartisan, basis to solve problems. I used to meet with the minority leader, Mike Hall, or Don Caruth before that, and if a bill came up before the Senate and they said they had a problem, or his caucus and the Republican caucus had a problem with a particular issue, I said, we'll carve that out, run that as a separate bill. And then we'd pass the thing 34-0. I'd say 99% of the bills that we passed in the legislature during my term were overwhelmingly unanimous. I don't see any collegiality or cooperation among the parties anymore. I'll reach out to Republicans, Independents, Democrats, and try to get problems solved. I don't see that happening anymore. And I think even Senator Manchin, one of the reasons why he got fed up and walked away is that, he saw that there was just absolutely no room for cooperation anymore.
Jeff Kessler, he's running for the U.S. Senate Democratic nomination, one of 5 Democrats who will be running for that nomination in the May primary. Former state Senate president, spent 19 years in the legislature. Jeff, we appreciate you coming on. I'm sure we'll be talking again between now and May.
Okay. Stay warm.
We'll do our best. We appreciate it. Jeff Kessler,
all right,
former state Senate president, and again running for the Democratic nomination for U.S. Senate. We'll talk to the state Democrat Party chair, Mike Pushkin, coming up next hour about the slate of Democrat candidates that'll be running in May. We'll do that around. Are we doing that at the top of the hour? We're doing that at the bottom of the hour, aren't we?
10:30. Our
schedule has been. We've only redone the schedule 3 times this morning.
Oh, I think that's being conservative, Dave. At this point, it's been in flux since about 6 o'clock this morning.
So Pushkin at the bottom of the hour. Eric Nelson will join us coming up in the second hour with revenue numbers as well. We do have a show planned. I promise you there is a rhyme and reason. Up next, we'll talk about the candidates who are in, the candidates who are not in, and what interests us after the candidate filing period closed on Saturday. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Since 1926, the West Virginia Hospital Association has been the collective voice of our state's hospitals. With a shared vision of strengthening communities, improving lives, and supporting our state's economic well-being, our member hospitals work every day to provide high-quality, accessible care. This year, we celebrate 100 years of a unified voice and our ongoing commitment to supporting our members in achieving a strong, healthy West Virginia.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at wvha.org.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
At
the health plan, we are here for you, and we have been one of the most trusted carriers for over 40 years. Headquartered right here in West Virginia, providing exceptional health coverage and local customer service.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Principal Greg Dosh of MTech.
Thanks to funding in part from West Virginia Lottery proceeds, we're expanding MTech with a new STEM edition.
Across West Virginia, opportunities like these are made possible when you play, helping to ensure more students can discover their future right here at home. For 40 years, proceeds from the West Virginia Lottery for education have totaled $4.1 billion. West Virginia Lottery, 18 plus to play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
304-TALK. 304 is the text line, and 800-765-TALK is the phone number. I did confirm Sophia Wasik is our audio producer this morning. Saturday was the deadline for candidates to file if they're going to be running in the May primary. A few more things could trickle in. They had to be postmarked by Saturday, so could see a couple of other filings trickle in over the next couple of days. But TJ, what jumped out to you? And I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think the same thing jumped out to us over the weekend, and you wrote about it in particular at WVMetroNews.com this morning.
I think you're right. Even before the filing period was officially over, around 9:30 Friday night, Governor Morrissey coming out and framing that Senate District 1 race in the Northern Panhandle, framing it as Laura Wacom Chapman versus Sean Fluharty. Well, wait a minute, Governor. Laura Wacom Chapman has a primary challenge. The governor jumping right in, and Dave, I think sending a very clear signal that he is in the camp of the quote-unquote Senate faction that is the populist faction. That's what I walked away with from his tweet and what I wrote about today at WVMetroNews.com.
Yeah, and you can read TJ's commentary over the website. I think you're right. I think it's certainly a sitting governor endorsing one candidate or the other. That's not out of the ordinary. It's not unusual. Doesn't happen all the time. But I think you're right. I think it sends a signal that Governor Morrissey is at least backing that side of the Senate, backing that side. If you have you want to describe it as the Smith to Kubo split there. And I don't know if that's fair to either one of those guys to describe it as that, but that's how it's framed in my head. I think you hit the nail on the head there, TJ, with that support, with that at least with that tweet. That's what you're led to infer from that tweet.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting because I think it's well known. The governor is involved in a lot of primary races. He's had his hands on some things. But this, I think, and please correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first public acknowledgement that I remember of picking a side in this camp. I mean, he's very invested in House races, Senate races, but really the first time he has come out and put his name on something with a stamp that says, this is where Patrick Morrissey places his support.
And I think because of what you just said, TJ, the governor is very involved. He's a very detail-oriented guy. I would leave open the possibility, and I'll still leave the door open, that he doesn't know all the names that are on the ballot in the 1st District, or what names are on the ballot in the 1st District, but he's so detail-oriented, he's so involved, I got to think he does. Well, we're only talking 17 seats here in the Senate. I got to think he does know who's running, who's facing a primary challenge, and that's not just a simple oversight on his part for everything you just said.
Oh, I would bet my money that he has every race down, House, Senate, everything, and he knows who he's going to pick and who he's not. So it really comes down to this, again, framing and setting him up for 2028. He's got an agenda. The populists tend to align with it more, and he needs some meat on that agenda. He needs something to pass, right? So he needs something to run with, and these are the people, right or wrong, that he thinks he's going to back. I tell you what will be interesting. What do you do if Eddie beats Chapman in the primary? Do you root for Fluharty after what you said, or do you try to bring Eddie
you got to
back
make nice, don't you? Yeah.
I guess.
Speaking of Fluharty, my other takeaway, and we'll talk more about this with Mike Pushkin, the State Democrat Party chair, when he joins us in just a few moments. Democrats did what they needed to do, step one, and that is, for the most part, filled the ballot. If you look up and down the Senate races, you look up and down the House races, Democrats filled the ballot, and I think also, TJ, identified districts where they believe, and I know they believe they can win every seat, but where they feel very strongly that they can take a couple of seats back, specifically in the Senate, when you've got Fluharty running there in District 1 and John Williams running against presumably Mike Oliverio in District 13 there. So there are a couple of seats there they believe that they can certainly win by putting those guys up for election in the Senate side.
Yeah, I think they did a good job, right? In years past, there's been criticism that a lot of races, they didn't even have anyone. Well, most races, not all, most races this year they do. And I agree with you. That John Williams presumptively against Mike Oliveria, that's going to be a tough race. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a tough race. You've got Williams, who's a longtime delegate, well-known. You've got Oliveria, that's been around politics in North Central West Virginia forever and a day, a former WVU student body president. That is going to be a very tight race, I believe. And it's going to come down to I think urban versus rural is going to be a factor there, among others.
And Jeff Kessler running for U.S. Senate. Look, it is going to be a tall order for anybody to beat Shelley Moore Capito, either in a primary or in the general election. But it signals you're serious. Former state Senate president, guy who served in the legislature nearly 2 decades. It signals you are serious, and that's much different than, no offense to the other candidates, who were not well known outside of their very, very local districts.
I'll tell you another one caught my eye. State Senate, unexpired District 17, 2 Dems with name recognition. Ted Bettner, which was a longtime West Virginia Senator for Budget and Policy Director. Richie Robb, former mayor of South Charleston. That's going to be a contested Democratic primary that's going to be worth watching.
Plus, as we go back to the Republican side, what is it? There's probably 10 very interesting contested primaries over on that side. I categorize them as very interesting. So welcome to election season. Is it officially arrived now?
Oh, it's arrived. Eric Tarr's going to have a race.
He's got 2 people challenging him, right?
Yeah. Philip Surface, longtime orthopedic surgeon. Travis Willard, well-known here in the Valley, against Eric Tarr. Three-way race in District 4. That's going to be one to watch.
We will watch all of them as it unfolds over the next couple of months. Plus, the actual legislature is in session. We'll get an update from Brad McElhinny coming up in the second hour. Up next, we'll be joined by the Democrat Party chairman here in West Virginia, Mike Pushkin. Delegate Mike Pushkin will join us on the other side of the break. Later on, Jared Halpern will join us, and we'll get an update on revenue numbers from Revenue Secretary Eric Nelson. Got a busy Monday show before we head back to the state capitol for the next few days. 800-765-TALK and 304-TALK-304. That's the phone number, and that is the text line if you would like to jump in. This is Talk Line on Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 10:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening across the great state of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. The state missing the mark in revenue collections for the month of January by more than $19 million. The governor's office says despite falling short last month, the state has collected nearly $109 million more in taxes this fiscal year than originally projected. And the governor says the state's economy is strong enough for further tax cuts. We'll see where a teacher pay raise bill goes in the state Senate. The bill was on the agenda last Thursday before the Senate Education Committee. Education Committee Chairman Cole Grady said she went to the co-chair of the teachers union to comment on the bill and a little surprised by the reaction.
I see the problem we're trying to solve, and sometimes you can't solve all of it at once. You have to take a small bite of the apple, and I felt like starting teacher salary is a big bite of the apple, and they didn't seem like they were really thrilled with it.
That's the big component of the bill, raising the starting teacher pay to $50,000 a year. State Department of Human Services Secretary Alex Mayer suggesting there may be other ways to deal with truant kids instead of putting them in state facilities, taking up beds for kids who are now placed out of state. Mayor says there are conversations underway.
We've spoke to different judges about ways that we can better support this population. We recognize it's a need, and we want to be at the table in supporting that effort. We have to do it the right way, and we have to incorporate the right systems who are most appropriate in taking care and addressing those challenges.
The Morrissey administration looking to bring home 400 kids currently placed outside the state. You're listening to Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Come on, Liam, let's go. Get open. Come on, go for it. Wake up, Liam. Oh, come on, use your head. Gotta want it. Dominate.
There he goes again. Liam's dad yelling from the stands, trying to relive his glory days.
I know. We're just trying to have fun out here and play with our friends. Like, it's not that deep.
He seriously needs to get a grip.
Does he really think he's helping Liam play better?
I feel bad for Liam. I know he's embarrassed his dad ruins every game like this. I mean, I would be too.
Someone needs to tell him this isn't about him.
Yeah, stop trying to coach from the stands and just cheer.
That's what Liam wants.
That's what we all want.
Be your student's biggest fan, not their biggest critic. This message presented by the WVSSAC and the West Virginia Athletic Directors Association.
We'll see this hour if French Creek Freddy sees his shadow at the West Virginia Wildlife Center in Upshur County. If he does, we could have 6 more weeks of winter. Wildlife Center Director Mark Biller says Freddy is more right than he is wrong.
No, I would say around, we're getting numbers around 65% accuracy.
Today is the 49th year for French Creek Freddy. Governor Patrick Morrissey among those bundled up this morning at the Wildlife Center at French Creek to see what Freddy does. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
Metro News Talk Line continues from the Encova Insurance Studios. We'll get to your text coming up at 304-TALK, 304. Phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Joining us on Metro News Talk Line this morning from his office at the state capitol, Kanawha County Delegate and Chairman of the West Virginia Democratic Party, Mike Pushkin. Mike, good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you all.
Glad
I'd rather see you in person. When are you coming back to the Capitol?
We'll be there tomorrow. We're back for the duration.
I look forward to seeing you. All right, great.
Well, Mike, the filing period for the May primary ended on Saturday. Democrats have 90 of 100, have candidates for 90 of 100 House delegate seats, 17 of 19 in the Senate, 5 candidates running for U.S. Senate. To start the comeback, number one, you got to get candidates. You did that this year.
That's right. You got to get the players on the field if you're going to have any chance in the game. And we got people in the right position right now. And more importantly, we're giving voters choices. I will say, there are still, certificates of announcement coming in the mail. And we've had a historic surge of Democrats who've signed up. Unfortunately, the mail has also been historically slow in getting here to the state capitol. So there likely to be more. But as of right now, you're correct. We've got 90. We're contesting 90 of 100 House races so far, 17 of the 19 Senate races. I believe we have 22, because we have primaries in a lot of these races as well. It's 22 Democrats that are running for state Senate. I think 110 that we know of right now. Democrats running for House of Delegates, over 45 Democrats running at a county level. You mentioned we have 5 Democrats running in the primary for United States Senate. At least 2 are running in Congressional District 1, at least 3 so far in Congressional District 3. So while the Republicans made a mistake and chose to close their primary and shut out independents and unaffiliated voters, our primaries are open. And more importantly, we're going to give voters choices up and down the ballot in our primaries. We're going to have some very exciting primaries in May as well.
Mike, taking a look at your Senate slate here, just to make it easy, I'm looking District 1 all the way through 17. Now, you do have a contested primary between Bettner and Robb in that unexpired term in 17, but for the most part, many of these are going to be uncontested primaries, at least in the Senate. Talk about that advantage, if any at all, in your eyes, that you may have in that you can start positioning against Republicans now, whereas many of the Republican races are going to be contested on the primary side.
Well, actually, there are a few. I know of a few certificates coming, and there will be a few more contested primaries in the Senate. And we think that that's healthy. That gives voters choices as well. And then we'll know we will have a battle-tested candidate ready to go in the fall. And for those who have the luxury of not having primaries, they can raise money, attend as many public events as possible, get their names out there in other ways, and be ready to go in the fall. Either way, I think we have some very good opportunities, and people of West Virginia are going to have a lot more choices on the ballot, and that's good for West Virginia. It's good for democracy.
Mike, how did you go about identifying races in the state where you go, we think we have, and I know you're going to say we think we can win them all, but we think we have a very good chance to win here. How did you go about identifying those races and then identifying good candidates to run in those races?
Well, I'll just say this isn't a process that just started a few months ago. This is a process that started really 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when we started working to rebuild the infrastructure of the county committees. And I'm happy to say we have very few counties right now where we don't have that infrastructure in place. But that's how you identify and recruit the best candidates. I mean, I'm sitting here in Charleston. I might not know who the best candidate for Mingo County is, but you know what? I have an excellent chair down in Mingo County, Johnny Nick Hager, and he was able to find not one but 2 women to step up and run for House of Delegates. We have that Senate district covered, actually a primary for that Senate district and Senate District 6. But that's how it works. We work with our counties, and we work with our people in different localities and municipalities to identify and recruit the best candidates. And we did incorporate some modern technology and a texting program and how to reach out to people. And there was a lot of just old fashioned calling people up and asking them, a lot of that. But I think also what's at play here. And we were able to reach out to people and identify them in these ways. But I have to mention that there's also just a mood right now. There is a feeling that I'm getting from people. People are very frustrated with what they're seeing right now in their state government and nationally, with one party being so overwhelmingly in control. And just legislation that's coming through this building has a lot of people very upset. I can name a couple examples as far as like data centers being forced on communities that don't necessarily want them when they're usurping local control here in Charleston. That has a lot of people upset. Just the focus that the Republican supermajority has had on wedge issues, on social issues for so long, without really paying attention to the kitchen table issues that affect the day-to-day lives of West Virginia, that has people upset. And when people turn on, the national news and they see chaos in the streets of America, and they see a regime in Washington that instead of uniting the country is throwing gasoline on the fire, people are upset. And they want to do something about it. Instead of sitting back and whining and clutching their hands, there are a lot of folks out there that want to do something about it. And we got in touch with these folks, and they're going to do something about it. And they're going to be the change that they wish to see. And that's why we've had so many good Democrats put their name on the ballot to challenge some of these incumbents up here, especially up here at the Bad Idea Factory, also known as your state capitol, to challenge these folks because they deserve a challenge. and they need to be challenged.
Talk to me about this faction issue in the Senate. You saw the posts over the weekend. Fluharty went back at the governor. Good for him. He should. Talk to me, though. Does this faction issue in the Republican Party, how can you use that? How can Democrats
We already
use it to
have
their advantage?
Well, I'll tell you how it's already been worked to our advantage. If you look at who the Republicans have recruited to run, there are right now we have 9 seats. There are 9 Democratic seats out of 100 in the West Virginia House of Delegates. And as it stands right now, I mean, we're waiting for the mail to come in. 6 of those seats are unchallenged by Republicans. It seems to me that Governor Morrissey and the West Virginia Republican Party have spent more time recruiting against Republicans than they had against challenging us. So it has already worked to our advantage. They're too busy fighting with each other than actually doing the business of the people. They have obviously they have some issues they need to take care of them for themselves, and it definitely is reflected in their candidate recruitment efforts. But I like where we are. And something I failed to mention too. We have a record number of women who have stepped up and running for office on the Democratic side. I think there's still male coming in, but as of right now, I think we have over 60 women on the ballot. That could be a record.
Mike Pushkin is joining us, Kanawha County delegate and chairman of the West Virginia Democratic Party. Mike, with all of that said, the numbers still are – the odds are still against you right at the moment. So how do you approach – why do you like your odds?
Well, because we have the people in play. If you look at some of these races, we don't just have names on the ballot. We have community leaders. We have several former delegates that are coming back, and they will come back. Linda Longstreth in Marion County. The former mayor of Huntington, Steve Williams, who was also a former delegate, also running to come back and join us again in the House of Delegates. We have just quality candidates up and down the ballot. I really like a lot of these matchups. I think we're going to make some significant gains in both chambers and restore some balance and sanity to state government.
Any pause about somebody like Fluharty or John Williams? Look, I think their House seat is safe if they wanted it again, but they want to move over and move up into the Senate. Any pause that you may be giving up 2 safe House seats with that move?
I don't see it that way. I think that what we're doing to do is improve the Senate by sending over 2 of our best delegates, and John Williams and Sean Fluharty. And I think the average IQ in the Senate will increase when those 2 guys go over there and join the Senate. So we plan on holding on to those. In fact, the Republicans didn't even recruit anybody so far that I've seen in House District 80, the one that Williams is leaving. So there's a Democratic primary there. So it's a safe bet that a Democrat will hold that seat. And we have an excellent candidate in House District 5 as well. And I think that both delegates Williams and Fluharty are going to be Senator Williams and Senator Fluharty, because I know how hard they work, and I know that they're very in tune with the people of those districts they're running in, and I like their chances.
So, quick note: I'm looking here. I don't see a Republican unless something trickles in the mail on that side too. I don't see a Republican registered in 80. So there you go.
Correct.
They
left an open seat open. They're too busy fighting with themselves. Yes.
He's Mike. I was trying to intro you or outro you or just tell people who you are again. It's Mike Pushkin. People probably know who you are, don't they, Mike? Kanawha County Delegate, State Democratic Party Chair. Mike, we appreciate it. Best of luck in the upcoming election season, and we'll say hello at the Capitol tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll say safe trip down here tomorrow, Dave.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Mike Pushkin, State Democratic Party Chairman. Again, you can see the full list of candidates. It's over at the Secretary of State's website. A few forms might be trickling in over the next couple of days. We'll offer some more of our thoughts. We'll get to yours coming up next. 304-TALK-304. That's the text line. You can give us a call, 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. We have a busy second hour, so if you want to get your thoughts in, now's the time to do it. We'll be back in a moment.
Located in the heart of West Virginia, Bridgeport is the place to play. Endless indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities, including the Bridgeport Complex, coupled with a dynamic food scene, make Bridgeport the perfect getaway destination for couples and families. Explore unique shopping and pick from a wealth of lodging options to find something perfect for your needs. Explore the heart of West Virginia in Bridgeport. Learn more about all there is to do at greater-bridgeport.com.
Hospitals drive West Virginia's economy. They produce jobs and create opportunities while keeping our communities healthy. Employing nearly 54,000 people, West Virginia hospitals rank among our state's largest and most dependable employers. They provide more than $1 billion in community benefits and generate nearly $17 billion in total economic impact each year. Hospitals are investing where it counts, advancing health, ensuring access to care, and powering West Virginia's economic future.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at wvha.org.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. And we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in-store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot is $65 million. Mega Millions is $323 million, so go ahead, play today. Texter wants to know, can a party still nominate a candidate, executive committee, in the 80th district after the primary? Ooh.
Where is Deke Kersey from the Secretary of State's office when we need him? I will look into that. Off the top of my head, I could not answer that.
I vaguely remember there is a provision for that, but I do not remember what it is. Democrats just can't be against something and think they're going to be elected. They need to have solutions to these problems, just not catchphrases, kitchen table issues, says the texter.
I think that's a really good point. I do think it's early, though. They just got their slate in. But if I'm a Democratic operative, I'm going hot and heavy after independence. I'm also bringing up this issue that Pushkin alluded to, of the fact that, hey, independents, you were locked out. If Democrats pick up seats here, it's going to be because they had candidates who are center left, center, even right, moderate, that are able to appeal, in my opinion, to those independents and have tangible issues and fixes around a lot of these kitchen table issues. Like I hear, let's just freeze rate increases. Utility bills are too high. All right, so does that mean I'm going to pay more 3 years from now when the freeze is off? I mean, what is the next sentence and the paragraph after that describes the how, Dave, of how we're going to fix these problems? And I think that's what these candidates have to refine and have to get out with their message.
One of the hurdles Democrats are going to have to overcome, as much as they want to talk about, and we need to talk about the kitchen table issues, it's still the social issues and what the party is doing at the national level. And if they're going to have to overcome that, because for a lot of people, folks that I talk to, yes, kitchen table issues, affordability, all these things are wrapped up in, but if you're on the wrong side of abortion, if you're on the wrong side of the transgender issues, and I'm saying wrong side based on the voters' opinion of what is the wrong side, that is a high hurdle to overcome, and I think Democrats still have to overcome that hurdle here in West Virginia with what's happening at the national level.
Is it enough to say that's decided? I mean, if you're a Democrat, is it enough to say, look, there's a law now, abortions with exceptions? I mean, we've went very far on that. We've outlawed transgender surgeries. I mean, is it enough to say, if you're a Democrat, look, that's been handled, we're moving on? That
would be my message, wouldn't it? If I were a Democrat running, that would be my message. Look, we've dealt with that already. Let's move on to yada yada yada, economic development. More text here, 304 Talk 304. We're gonna leave off. TJ, your analysis is accurate. The governor has inadvertently helped Fluharty. Fluharty would give either Eddie or Laura a race in the general, but Eddie's chances in general are arguably better due to Sean's spicy demeanor. However, I like that's pretty good. However, by martyring Fluharty this early, there's already a big reaction up here from people who don't particularly like Sean, saying they're going to support him out of reaction to Morrissey's attack.
Well, we'll wait and see. I mean, if I'm Joe Eddie right now, I distance myself from the governor. I don't need you. I don't need you. And that's the message not only in the primary, it's definitely going to be part of the message for the reason just articulated by the texter in the general.
Texter says, I agree with Jeff Kessler on the fact that trickle-down economics has not seemed to work well, says the texter. ABC, anybody but Capito. We need new leadership. The reason Europe has socialized medicine is because they don't put much money into defense. The U.S. has subsidized their defense.
I mean, bingo. Pay for a lot, Dave, if you don't have to pay for national defense and be the world's cop.
For the love of Pete, no more little Mike Pushkin, straight up hater, talks like deputy dog. I beg you, no more Comrade Pushkin, asks the texter.
I thought he was rather tempered today, myself.
I thought he was too. And look, give Democrats credit. I think they deserve a lot of credit. This didn't start 6 months ago, and Mike outlined this, TJ. It started a couple of years ago, building up at the county level, reestablishing your county executive committees, getting your county people involved. It's bottom up, and give them credit. That's where they found these candidates. That's where they found 90 of 100 House seats to put on the ballot, to put these names on the Senate primaries as well. And good on them for recognizing that and building bottom up.
I mean, if you think it's easy, try it and then get back to me.
304 Talk 304 is the text line. Share your thoughts. We'll get to a couple more texts. We got a very busy second hour coming up. We'll tell you all about it when we come back. This is Talk Line from the Cove Insurance Studios.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZMM Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZMM, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates operates near that benchmark. It provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
Every day in West Virginia, we play for something bigger.
As a mom, I play for her education.
I play because it helps provide care for the ones who care for us.
I play to help keep our parks beautiful.
Why I play? Because every play supports West Virginia's future, our students, our seniors, and our state parks. For 40 years, proceeds from the West Virginia Lottery have totaled nearly $13.7 billion. I play. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
On the next State of Minds.
My dad always said, don't let any one individual control your destiny, what you do, what your value is. And I wasn't about to let Paterno do that to me. I mean, it was just a phenomenal time, my first game, and to be accepted as a Mountaineer.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
It's high school basketball season, and Metro News Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream Metro News Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on Metro News Television.
Of West Virginia.
Couple of more texts here, 304 Talk 304. Dave, quit telling people to call and text if you never answer. That's what we're doing right now. Hey guys, Pushkin was right about one thing. The Democratic Party is the party of women. More Pushkin. You should have a segment every day with Democrats on it. You seem to have the party of insurrectionists on every day. At least have the party that actually supports the Constitution.
Do you take any comfort that we never please anybody? I'm starting to take comfort in it.
Yes,
okay.
I do take comfort in that. Dave and TJ, I was a registered Republican voter for more than 40 years. I switched to independent last year. Since they don't believe they need my vote in the primary, I plan to vote for every available Democrat in the general and would encourage all independents to do the same. We need some balance instead of extremes toward either side, says the texter. All right, we have a very busy second hour coming up. That includes Brad McElhinny stopping by, report on the January revenue numbers from Revenue Secretary Eric Nelson. Maybe we'll squeeze Halpern in. And coming up 6 minutes from now, Michael Rose will join us. He is the ICE ERO Philadelphia Field Office Director. We'll talk to him about that operation in West Virginia in January that led to the arrest of over 600 alleged illegal aliens in the state of West Virginia. He'll join us coming up 6 minutes from now. Very busy second hour of Metro News Talkline. Go grab yourself I would go for just a straight glazed donut and a black cup of coffee to get you through the second hour. We'll be back in 6 minutes. This is Talk Line on Metro News. Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. Lost him. And you know what? It was just about to get good, too. It was just getting good. We lost
Should
him.
we take the break and maybe he'll call back? I don't know.
You know what? We can take the break, and we can see if Ethan can reconnect with him, because I want to hear where he goes with that answer. I don't know. CJ, I'm just saying, we just started bringing up some deep stuff, and then it gets cut off. Is the Illuminati listening to the show? Just saying.
Welcome back to the show. 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock?
That's it. I'm going home.
Dang, man.
See ya.
I wouldn't even be on the air on any of our stations before 8 o'clock. I don't know where that came from. Reading, it's hard.
Well, I think when you have a... I'll say in all candor, when you're in a foreign country and a monkey in a diaper sitting on your head, you're asking for trouble.
Discussion can end there. That's right. Boom. That's a definitive statement on the issue. Now we move on.
So how many times have you thought about that was a bad idea that I had a monkey on my head since you had the monkey on your head?
Every time I go visit Dr. Pellegrino, my personal doctor. Do you know what it's like to tell your doctor that?
Well, yeah, Doc, I also had a monkey. Excuse me? Had a monkey on my head with a diaper on. I bet you that's the first time Dr. Ron has ever heard that one. He's probably heard a lot of things.
He's heard a lot. Yeah, Dr. Ron has.
He's one of the great West Virginians. He's up there from the Northern Panhandle.
He's awesome.
Tremendous. Yeah, Dr. Ron. Good dude.
We were talking in my office a little earlier, and a phrase that Ryan used that I was really kind of gobsmacked over. He started a sentence with me. He said, "We were watching football on Thursday."
I know, he did the same thing to me. He did this. Is this like Earth 2?
I said, what?
He came back and started telling me about the Cowboys and the Chiefs game.
I know.
And you were watching the Lions game on Thanksgiving Day.
Well,
what happened? What happened to our little Ryan?
Well, when my Uncle Bill and my Uncle Chris asked if I want to watch football with them, I don't say no.
Okay.
So, because I'm not a recluse anymore.
So if you have uncles that are big sports fans, do you get some creds? Are you like, hey, I'm actually you want to kind of sports show? It's syndicated.
Well, I don't.
Statewide.
Well, I don't want this to be a sports show.
Second game this season that Honors had 8 threes. Second time he's had 8 threes, and his coach has pulled him out with over 4 minutes to go.
You're up 40.
Yeah, but coach just does not want to see him get that record.
There may have been a discussion about that on exactly where he was in the number.
Did you let him know this time?
But there was a discussion about where he was with the number. But at the end of the day, Ross decided the juice not worth the squeeze there. With 3.5 minutes left is when he pulled him out after the timeout there. And that's a guy with a lot of minutes on his in his body. You need to rest him. But 2 out of 11, you got to think maybe he's going to approach that again. Here's what's wild. In those 2 games where he's just been one off of Alex Ruoff's record, he's now a combined 16 of 20 from 3 in those 2 games. So he didn't just make 8 threes, guys. He was 8 of 11 last night. He was 8 of 9 when he did it before. 16 of 20 combined in those 2 games.
Across this great state of West Virginia, welcome in high school game nights. I chuckle a little bit, folks, because it said early edition.
As compared to the
Only
rest
edition.
of the edition, yeah.
Yeah. Tonight is going to be interesting, to say the least.
10 seconds remaining.
Going to be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
You had a moment of clarity about when it all started to make sense for you?
It did, because I didn't want to be a filmmaker growing up. I didn't even know what filmmaking was growing up. I used to watch Oprah and Katie Couric, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be you. And I worked at West Virginia University's radio station, had a very thick accent. People would call in and make fun of me. And so I asked my roommates, my college roommates who were from Baltimore, to teach me how to talk differently.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a loss, I feel, from that. And it's probably one of the reasons why I love documenting people that are authentic. Like, I don't know if I'm authentic, but I think the people I find are very authentically who they are, and that's what draws me to them.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning, second hour of Metro News Talkline. Hope you are having a good start to your Monday. We'll be back at the state capitol tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. We've got a busy week at the Capitol. Tomorrow's Marshall Day, Wednesday's WVU Day, and, well, the legislature may do something this week. We'll find out. Brad McElhinny will give us the latest report. We'll talk to him a little bit later on this hour from the state capitol. Revenue Secretary Eric Nelson, and we'll see if we can get a few minutes with Jared Halpern as well for the latest on Washington, D.C., as we are in the midst of a partial government shutdown. Joining me from Charleston, of course, Orwell, in the areas undisclosed, in the Meadows, what did I call it before? The Meadows Estate? Is that what I called the...
I have no idea.
TJ, anyway. TJ joins me this morning.
Yeah, I'm here. I'll tell you, the data from the market, they could care less about this government shutdown. They must think that it's going to move on. Dow's up over 400 points, S&P up around 25. So the market betting heavily that this thing gets solved on Tuesday, it would appear.
Busy second hour. Let's dive right in. Over the weekend, news came out that between January 5th and 19th, ICE Philadelphia led a surge in West Virginia. Teams were sent to Charleston, Huntington, Martinsburg, Moorfield, Morgantown, and Beckley. That resulted in more than 600 arrests of alleged illegal aliens by West Virginia ICE and local law enforcement officers during the 2-week surge earlier this month. Joining us now on Metro News Talkline is ERO Philadelphia Acting Field Office Director Michael Rose. Michael, good morning. Thank you for taking some time with us today.
Good morning. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to come on.
Absolutely. Can you give us some specifics about the operation? Who was targeted, and how did you choose these locations?
Well, we chose the locations because of the partnership that we have with the state police and with a lot of the sheriffs down there. And so these were some of the most populated locations, and also had, again, great cooperation from the local law enforcement. And we were really looking to target aliens with prior criminal arrests, prior criminal convictions, maybe those who have been removed from the country already or who have been ordered deported but haven't left.
Any violent criminals among these folks, or mostly just immigration here illegally charges?
Well, so we had a couple of note. One was a lady from Mexico, had her criminal history. She had a drug conviction, spent 3 years in prison, resisting arrest, failed to appear. She had been deported and then snuck back into the country. There was another illegal alien from Mexico. The West Virginia State Police helped us on this one. He'd been deported twice and had convictions for assault with a deadly weapon and indecent liberties with a child. And then there was another guy from Honduras who turned out he was wanted on a third-degree rape warrant out of New York. So, yes, there were definitely some criminals, some violent folks in this group.
We're speaking with Michael Rose. He is the acting ERO Philadelphia Field Office Director for ICE. The operation was held between January 5th and January 19th. How did the cooperative agreements between state law enforcement and federal agents impact this operation?
Oh, they were the cooperation between the state law enforcement was instrumental. As you know, Governor Morrissey has been very supportive of the 287G program, which essentially brings the state and locals on to help us to enforce immigration law. So, we couldn't have done it without the help of the state and locals.
Michael, 600 people, I'll be honest with you, I was surprised by that high of a number in West Virginia. You don't think of West Virginia as being a very diverse place or a hot spot for people who are here illegally. Talk to me about that number in your mind, and also set the stage. Are there more? Are there many more people who ICE knows that are here illegally in West Virginia?
Look, I think the immigration enforcement is a national priority, and it's a national issue. So I don't think there are many places in the country that are not impacted by it. So it was a large number. And look, West Virginia is kind of in the crossroads of everything. So there's a lot of highways, a lot of folks traveling through, but also in some of the cities in West Virginia, certainly up in the Eastern Panhandle, it's pretty populated. You've got a lot of folks coming in from Virginia, from Maryland, spending time in West Virginia. So, all in all, again, this is a national thing, and I think everybody is included.
Michael, kind of building off TJ's question, do we know if these individuals were living in West Virginia, or were they transient and just happened to be arrested while in West Virginia?
So definitely a mix. There were quite a few who were living in West Virginia, but we did part of the operation was working with the state police. The state police is doing their commercial vehicle enforcement. Again, they're all trained to enforce immigration law under our direction. At least one of the folks was a commercial truck driver. He failed to stop at a commercial inspection station. Subsequently, was pulled over by the state police, and turns out he was transient, had a driver's license out of California, but had already been ordered deported and was not supposed to be in the country. So, again, there's kind of a wide variation in situations with the people we were encountering.
Director, I wonder if you can walk us through the process once these 600 folks were apprehended. What process did they go through? What happened? And have they all been deported? Where are they today? Are they still in the country? How does that work?
So it's a little bit different, and it depends on each individual. Some of the people, like I mentioned, had already been ordered deported by an immigration judge, and so they're going to be removed from the country much more quickly. There are other folks who maybe have not gone through the full immigration process, and so they will have the full slate of hearings in front of an immigration judge to decide their status. And then, like the lady I mentioned who had already been deported a couple of times, that one, again, it's a reinstatement of the prior deportation order, and that process would move pretty quickly. So it's hard to give a blanket answer, but yeah, everybody, at some point, everybody will have a chance to see an immigration judge and state their case. It's just a matter of whether they've already had that opportunity or that's still upcoming after the arrest.
We're speaking with Michael Rose. He's the acting ERO Philadelphia Field Office Director for ICE. More than 600 illegal aliens arrested in West Virginia in January between the 5th and 19th. In preparation for an operation like this, how do you identify potential targets? And then is it a matter of locating them before you go in, or is it more of casting a wide net and seeing what you catch?
We definitely like to focus on the targeted enforcement, the folks with criminal histories, with prior deportations, and so there's definitely some homework on the front end of trying to figure out who these folks are, the folks with the long criminal histories, doing the homework to do the background on the immigration status, so that when we have our teams arrive there, we kind of already know where we're going and who we're looking for. So that's the primary focus. But again, part of the 287G, like the task force officer program, is also just assisting the state and locals in the normal course of their business. So if the say West Virginia State Police makes a traffic stop for a suspected drunk driver, if when they start talking to that driver, they determine, hey, based on our training, it looks like this person might have immigration issues, that's when they will reach out to one of our supervisors to confirm that, kind of run that down, and then to take the appropriate action. So definitely the focus is on the targeted, the criminals, those who've already been ordered deported, but also other folks who may be encountered by law enforcement during the operation. We can help out with those folks too.
You mentioned this is a national issue. Obviously, there's controversy. What do you want West Virginians to hear from you today? What would you tell West Virginians about this process, and what do you want them to know?
So I think the biggest thing, again, I talked about some of these folks, and this wasn't all of them. Folks who had egregious criminal histories had already been removed from the country. That's really the focus. And again, I think the partnership with the governor's office, with the state police, with the sheriffs, it really is. There are federal laws on the books. ICE is the federal law enforcement agency that is entrusted to enforce those laws. So that's our job, is to enforce the laws on the books legally. And that's our focus. And again, it's with the cooperation from the state of West Virginia, it just makes that whole process much more smooth to have that cooperation, the assistance, to understand that, yes, ICE is a legitimate law enforcement agency tasked with enforcing federal immigration law. And so that, again, the partnership, the cooperation, and that understanding with law enforcement in West Virginia is crucial.
Michael Rose, acting ERO, Philadelphia Field Office Director for ICE. That operation was January 5th through the 19th. More than 600 illegal aliens arrested in West Virginia. We have a story posted over at the website, wvmetronews.com. Michael, we appreciate the time. Thank you so much for the update.
Thank you.
Absolutely. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line. We'll go to Washington, D.C., get an update from Jared Halpern, where there's a partial government shutdown underway. We'll do that coming up next. A little bit later, Brad McElhinny joins us from the state capitol. Find out what's happening as we go to day 20 of the 60-day legislative session. This is Talk Line from the Encova Insurance Studios.
We were built in West Virginia and for West Virginia. We're investing in our state by expanding our fiber network, creating local jobs, and delivering high-speed internet that truly performs. Sign up now and get 50% off your first year of service with plans starting as low as $25 a month. Experience the speed and reliability you deserve. Visit citynet.net today. CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
At Glenville State University, we are pioneers. With over 45 undergraduate degree programs, 17 NCAA athletic teams, and countless campus organizations and activities, we're here to help you build your story while becoming a part of ours. Glenville State University, your dream, your future, your story. Visit glenville.edu today for more information.
Building a stronger West Virginia isn't just a dream, it's a mission. The High Technology Foundation knows economic diversity is the key. For over 30 years, they've been dedicated to transforming the state's economic landscape. Conveniently located in the heart of West Virginia, innovation, growth, opportunity, all under one roof. There's no need to look far for change. It's happening right here at the High Technology Foundation in North Central West Virginia. Visit WVHTF.org to learn more.
Since 1926, the West Virginia Hospital Association has been the collective voice of our state's hospitals. With a shared vision of strengthening communities, improving lives, and supporting our state's economic well-being, our member hospitals work every day to provide high-quality, accessible care. This year, we celebrate 100 years of a unified voice and our ongoing commitment to supporting our members in achieving a strong, healthy West Virginia.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I've had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Steig Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email steig-info@wealthenhancement.com.
A partial government shutdown. It's actually in its third day now. You may not even know that there was a partial government shutdown, but there is. That is due to the disagreement over DHS funding. There was a deal reached in the Senate. The White House was in on those negotiations. Now, what happens in the House? Fox News Radio's Jared Halpern covers everything that happens in Washington, D.C. Good morning, Jared.
Good morning.
So what was the Trump administration, particularly President Trump's role in getting this deal done on the Senate side, and what's its fate on the House side?
Well, I think the president's probably going to have to get involved on the House side, too. This is a deal that was cut, to your point, between Senate Democrats, Senate Republicans, and the White House. That there were 6 out of the 12 appropriations bills that needed to be passed. There were bipartisan bills to basically do that on everything except DHS. And so what this deal does is it takes out the DHS bill. And so you have the 5 other bills, basically the rest of government that remains closed. They pass that for the rest of the fiscal year. They create a 2-week Band-Aid for DHS to keep that functioning and funded and operating to provide a runway for negotiations that Democrats are insisting on, essentially to rein in ICE and Border Patrol, put new requirements on officers, agents, those agencies. That cleared the Senate. It went to the House. The problem is over the weekend, the top Democrat in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, said this wasn't our deal. Senate Democrats cut this deal. House Democrats didn't. And so he is not guaranteeing that there will be much support from his side of the aisle, which means that Republicans are going to have to pass this perhaps entirely on their own. That's a problem because also last weekend there was a special election in Texas. A Democrat won that seat. A Democrat was going to win that seat because it was a runoff election between 2 Democrats, but that adds now 1 more Democrat. So the breakdown of the House, once this new member is sworn in, is 218 Republicans, 214 Democrats. That means that Speaker Johnson can lose no more than 1 Republican on a party line vote. And there are already several Republicans who are voicing their opposition to this agreement. So this is going to become an issue of kind of how many Democrats kind of break ranks and go with this, how many Republicans break ranks, vote against it. Does President Trump have to get involved, make some phone calls, move Republicans into the yes column? All of that's going to happen today. On Sunday, yesterday, Speaker Johnson insisted that he believes that this is going to get passed tomorrow. This will not linger beyond tomorrow. But we will find out soon enough whether or not those votes are there, because there were some procedural steps that are going to have to happen that are going to give us a pretty clear understanding of where Republicans are on this.
Give us some of the Republican names that the White House may have to call on. Who are we worried about breaking ranks?
I mean, I think you always have kind of those fiscal hawks, right? I mean, Chip Roy has been one that has talked about not loving this. They want to see not just DHS funded fully, as this agreement would put out, but also want to see things like the SAVE Act included in it, some other legislation that they've been trying to get across the finish line that has been stalled in the Senate, and believing that this is a mechanism to do that. So I think you're going to see some of the Freedom Caucus folks certainly that may raise some eyebrows. That being said, this does not close the door on the DHS issue, right? If this were to pass, ICE and DHS, all of those debates are going to happen now over the next 2 weeks.
Fox News Radio's Jared Halpern from Washington, D.C. 60 seconds here, Jared. On Friday, 3 million pages from the Epstein files released. I know there were some scouring those all weekend long.
12:30 p.m. Lunch split until 12:30.
Yeah, I think that when you talk about the Epstein files, one, I mean, this was a tremendous amount of documents that were dumped. And so culling through it is going to take time. There are still redactions that some of the lawmakers who passed this bill say should not be redacted. And so I think you're going to start to see some House hearings, probably behind closed doors, so they can view the unredacted files and see kind of why things were redacted when they weren't supposed to be, if they met the standard for redaction. But it's also kind of just a lot of stuff that's out there. Like, we know that there were a lot of allegations made that have not been substantiated. There's no kind of, they didn't put these in 2 different files. Or there's not like a file of things that may be credible and things that aren't credible. They're kind of just all out there, right? And so that's one of the reasons that there had been some concerns about this legislation, is that it kind of just throws names out there, throws allegations out there, and a lot of them haven't been corroborated, at least to the level that law enforcement would need to move forward with an investigation.
You didn't miss an important announcement back there, did you?
No, they were calling what's called a lunch lid. It means that the president won't be there won't be anything for us to do for an hour, essentially.
Enjoy your lunch, sir.
Yeah.
I will try, yeah.
Fox News
I
Radio.
have to go outside for it, though. It's still 0 degrees.
Fox News Radio's Jared Halpern from Capitol. I always appreciate it, Jared. Thank you much.
Sure thing.
800-765-TALK and 304-TALK. That's the phone number and text line. Up next, Eric Nelson will join us, State Revenue Secretary. We'll see how January revenues did in the great state of West Virginia. And Brad McElhinny will join us from the state capitol. He is back at the legislature for day 20 of the legislative session. We'll find out what is and is not happening at the legislature today. We will be back in the Capitol Rotunda tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. So long as the weather holds out, we'll be there Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday right through the end of the session, which will actually be there Tuesday through Friday that week, FYI. 304-TALK, 304 is the text line at 800-765-8255. The phone number. Eric Nelson will join us next. Brad McElhinny will join us before we clear at the top of the hour. Dave Wilson of Morgantown, TJ Meadows at an undisclosed bunker location this morning. This is Talk Line on Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It is 11:30 and time to get a news update. Let's check in with the Metro News Radio Network, find out what's happening across West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News. I'm Chris Lawrence. State revenue collections during the month of January missed estimate by $19.3 million. According to a press release from the Morrissey administration, those collections totaled $490.8 million, which was 2.7% higher than January of 2024. Still, the state is running ahead of estimate for the fiscal year, and the administration believes that shortfall in January may be a result of timing and could be corrected in February. A Taylor County father indicted in the death of his 11-year-old daughter was in court earlier today.
42-year-old Aaron Moran is charged in the February 2025 child neglect death of his daughter, Miana Moran. She weighed only 43 pounds at the time of her death. Moran, along with the girl's primary caregiver, 51-year-old Shannon Robinson, are charged with murder. It's alleged Robinson withheld food from Miana as a form of punishment. It's alleged Moran knew Robinson refused to provide his daughter with necessary food, clothing, shelter, or medical care, but he failed to do anything about it. The girl's death has touched off an internal investigation in the State Department of Human Services in connection with CPS visits to the home. I'm Jeff Jenkins, WV MetroNews.com.
Well, it's a clear day in much of West Virginia, and that is not good news if you were hoping for a break in the weather, at least according to tradition. At the West Virginia Wildlife Center in French Creek Freddy last hour emerged from his den to a bluebird sky without a single cloud, and his shadow was prominent. The legend means 6 more weeks of winter. You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Come on, Liam, let's go. Get open. Come on, go for it. Wake up, Liam. Oh, come on, use your head. Gotta want it. Dominate.
There he goes again. Liam's dad yelling from the stands, trying to relive his glory days.
I know. We're just trying to have fun out here and play with our friends. Like, it's not that deep.
He seriously needs to get a grip.
Does he really think he's helping Liam play better?
I feel bad for Liam. I know he's embarrassed his dad ruins every game like this. I mean, I would be too.
Someone needs to tell him this isn't about him.
Yeah, stop trying to coach from the stands and just cheer.
That's what Liam wants.
That's what we all want.
Be your student's biggest fan, not their biggest critic. This message presented by the WVSSAC and the West Virginia Athletic Directors Association.
Landscape of social media looks to be impacted by a series of lawsuits. Already TikTok, Snap, and others have reached settlements, and Meta and Google are targeted as well. Dr. Joseph Jones is associate professor at the WVU Reed School of Media and Communications.
Hard for anybody to be the moral police. I am certainly not the one to come along and say this is good content, this is bad content. And I think that's where the real issue comes in, which is why we need to have a slow down and have a nuanced conversation.
From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Do we have an update from French Creek? I know Puxatawny Phil saw a shadow, but I reject his reality because I'm rejecting winter at this point. Do we have an update? Zach, do we have an update from French Creek? TJ?
I think I just heard Chris say that he, during the news break, that he saw the shadow, so I guess it's more winter, right? Is that the way that works?
I should really pay attention to Chris there at the bottom of the hour. I was multitasking. Yeah, if you sees the shadow, that means the groundhog gets scared, goes back in the hole, and then you get 6 more weeks of winter, right?
That's right. As my son pointed out to me this morning as he was getting ready for school and we were talking about it, Dad, it doesn't make any difference. It's all on the calendar when winter ends and when spring begins, and it'll be cold or it'll be warm. So, I was like, you know what, son? Well played.
Well, you know what? Tell your son, who obviously has some common sense and uses logic to arrive at conclusions, there will be none of that.
Yeah.
And we will trust the oversized rodent. Jeff Jenkins tells me he saw a shadow.
Okay.
So bundle up.
My kid gets that from his mother, by the way. Which I tried, but
Fair enough. Well, it is February 2nd, so that means it's time to get an update on revenue numbers from the state of West Virginia. January revenues came in at $19.3 million below estimates for the month, but year-to-date, West Virginia is still in the good. Joining us now on Metro News Talk Line this morning is State Revenue Secretary Eric Nelson. Eric, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning, Dave, and thanks for having me on once again.
Appreciate
Hope you guys are staying warm.
We're doing the best we can. It's still pretty cool here in the studio, but that's the way I like it, Eric. We keep it chilly just to keep it interesting. So how do we do in January? A little bit below revenue estimates for the month.
Yeah, it's last night's press release, and you just reiterated we were $19 million below in January on total collections of roughly $490 million. That is still 2.7% above what we did the prior year, roughly $13 million. And last January, revenue estimates also missed the target. And again, I'll get into this in just a second, but primarily led by lower severance taxes. Year to date, we have realized $3.2 billion in revenue, which is roughly $108 million over estimates. It's a little over 3%. And that number is roughly $80 million, or just under 3% better than the prior year. So the trend is very good. When one looks at our categories, all collection or revenue categories were very much flat or just below estimates, with the exception of our severance tax. And our severance tax was roughly $17 million below, and we fully attribute that to timing. For the benefit of yourselves and listeners, our severance taxes are collected at the end of the month. And in January, the last day of the month happened to fall on Saturday. So we'll say that there was a very strong collection today, exceeding $20 million on the severance. It should have come in and sat on Saturday if it would have been during the week, so we would have been above estimates. But, a couple things on the severance tax, if we may. We're still running very positive over prior years, about up 40%, and that's across both coal and gas. And a particular note, our gas prices are up a lot because of the cold weather, and we expect positive trends going forward. And for the benefit of somebody like TJ who loves to look at these Henry Hub prices and whatnot, future prices are significantly up from what they have been in the mid to high single digits. Lastly, before a couple questions, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Lastly, on our two big categories, personal income tax and consumer sales tax, both were roughly flat for the month. However, combined, they accounted for about 78% of that $491 million that we collected. They're both running about 3% above estimates. But two positives, when you compare them to the prior year, although our personal income tax is flat, realize we did have a 6% tax cut. So personal income tax collections are up even after that 6% cut. But on a bigger scale, consumer sales taxes are up a strong 8.9% over prior years. So, sorry, TJ, ready to
No, you're good. You're good. Let's go back to severance and talk about how that works. You mentioned that they're paid at the end of the month. Is there some delay though? That cold snap that we saw in the last of January that continues, you mentioned that $20 million I think came in over the weekend. How quickly does the state realize that as we take more gas out of wells and more coal out of mines?
So an interesting fact on our severance, normally it's a 2-month delay. So with some of our production in today's month, we won't really realize that or see the effects of that on the income statement of the state until 2 months from now. So that would put that in the March-April timeframe. So we expect some very good trends as we go into finish our third quarter this year and head into the fourth quarter, if that answers your question.
No, it does. I think because it gives you some cushion. And that kind of feeds into the other thing I wanted to ask you. How should we think about these estimates month to month versus year to date? How concerned are you on these monthly misses sometimes versus the fact that you're still where you want to be or ahead of where you want to be year to date? And how would you encourage people to think about that?
Yeah, TJ, as one looks at this, and I think as we have talked almost on a monthly basis, it's not unusual for you to hear from me that there was a timing issue here and there. That's to be expected. And again, I think the team that we have here with the revenue estimates, it's an unbelievable job that they do. It's not easy when you have so many different components coming in. But, severance, a timing of the month-end collection. Other times it's whether you have 3 weeks in a pay period or 3 pay periods within a month, like for income taxes. So those are the unknowns. But when you look at our two big items, they're both in a very positive trend, staying at the pace and just above inflation, which is at a minimum what we would all hope and expect.
He's Eric Nelson. He is West Virginia's Revenue Secretary. You can see the story. It's posted up at WVMetroNews.com. Eric, we'll check in March, and we'll see you at the Capitol, I'm sure.
Well, that sounds good. Today, I guess we're 1/3 the way through, day 20 down here. So look forward to catching up with you guys.
Absolutely. State Revenue Secretary Eric Nelson. Thank you, Eric. We appreciate it. Coming up, speaking of the state capitol and 1/3 of the way through it, Brad McElhinny is inside the Capitol. I presume he's inside the Capitol building this morning. We'll get an update from the legislature. Also, Governor Morrisey wasn't just tweeting about potential general election races. He was also urging state lawmakers to pass his 10% income tax cuts. We'll talk about that as well when we return. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
You want to know what West Virginia is talking about?
It's good to be back in Morgantown today.
Now it's different.
I think it's mostly just business.
What I voted for and what I think makes the most sense.
Well, Dave, this has been a bit of a controversy.
I want to thank the caller last week that said I sounded like Hoppy Kercheval. That was flattering.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline on Metro News Television.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
This Valentine's Day, fall in love with your internet again. CityNet Gig Fiber delivers fast, reliable speeds with no contracts, no data caps, and local West Virginia support. And right now, new customers can get 50% off any internet plan for 1 full year with plans starting at just $25 a month. Check availability at your address. Visit citynet.net today. CityNet, love at first speed. 304 Talk 304 is the text line. Governor Morrissey was on social media over the weekend. The governor tweeted, quotes, as West Virginia enjoys another surplus, some politicians are debating whether to cut the state income tax. This should not be a debate. I've made the tough choices to be fiscally responsible. Now it's time to help everyday West Virginians. A broad-based cut in income taxes that applies to everyone is far better than the massive special interest spending which picks winners and losers and does not help as many people financially. Let's pass a 10% income tax now. We did the hard work to put half of those savings into the budget, and we'll work closely with legislators to finish the job. We can do this. No more delays. Glad to say that our former governor, Jim Justice, also wants more income tax cuts. Thank you, Senator. With that, please welcome to the program Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny, who is in the belly of the beast this morning at the state capitol. Brad, good morning. Still talking about the possibility of a deeper income tax cut, but there are still many legislators who are at best lukewarm to the idea. Good morning, Brad.
Hello and good morning. Yeah, the governor, went on the road last week with tax cut influencer Grover Norquist, and now came out with this social media post, fairly lengthy one, and a couple things catch my eye. One is you enunciated debating the way you did because he's got quotes around it. Some politicians are, quote, debating whether to cut the income tax. And then the other section that I thought was interesting was, let's pass a 10% income tax now. We did the hard work to put half of those savings into the budget, and we'll work closely with legislators to finish the job. So, the governor has the right and the platform to do a budget proposal. And when you do that, it puts your priorities in writing, puts them in black and white. Well, his administration only found a way, apparently, to get to a 5% tax cut. The governor, with his words and with his appearances, continues to press for a 10. So he's saying here, we did the hard work to put half of those savings into the budget, but he's not had any suggestions about how to get the other half up to the 10, and seems to be laying it on legislators to find a way. And in terms of lawmakers, quote unquote, debating whether to pass a state income tax cut, they've already debated it. They've got a system that's in law that they passed a couple of years ago that takes into account economic conditions for the state of West Virginia. And if the state hits them, it triggers, you hear us talk about the trigger, it triggers another tax cut. That there is no debate, really. They've already debated. It's in the law. So I question whether this kind of process by the governor trying to browbeat lawmakers into somehow finding another way to get the additional 5% when he and his administration couldn't go any further than the 5% they've already proposed. I question whether it's going to be effective.
I question to what degree it's even expected. When you're a leader and you want something, you have to set out a path and a roadmap in which to get it. I don't know any CEO that would just say, hey, I want this done, and not have some kind of vision and path on how to get there. And that's effectively what the governor is. He's a chief executive. So if in your budget, to your point, if you haven't laid out how you get to that 10%, I mean, to me, it's kind of like Columbus jumping off the boat halfway to the New World saying, hey, guys, figure it out yourselves. To me, that's political posturing, and there's no sincerity in it. I don't know, Dave. Am I right or wrong?
No, I think you're in the ballpark, certainly. And look, even if this is the path, and this is the path he chose, all right, I'll do 5%, you all find the other 5%. For those delegates and senators who are against additional tax cuts at this point beyond what's in law already with the triggers, or who are on the fence, I don't know that this is an effective way of trying to persuade them to come up with that extra 5% or come up with any percent as far as that goes in the budget that the legislature is working on. Just my thoughts there. I don't know that browbeating works, at least with this current legislature. Brad?
I think the governor would have been on more solid ground if he had just put forth a budget that found a way to get to the 10%. And then, you've got 60 days after that to make some concessions or decide, all right, maybe that's not the way to do it. But if he'd proposed the 10%, it will be clear that he has at least put forward his own way to get there.
So what happens next? We're just going to run out the clock? What happens next? We're just going to talk about this for the other 40 days and then, okay, didn't get anything done. See you later next session.
I mean, honestly, I think it's natural to do that anyway. They're going to come back around to maybe a tax bill and certainly a budget bill toward the end. But now is typically the time when things get a little bit quiet about tax proposals because you're sort of debating other things at the moment.
Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny joining us from the state capitol. Brad's report brought to you by AARP, your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State. Connect on social media at AARP West Virginia and learn more at aarp.org/WV. So, Brad, what is the legislature debating at this point on day 20 of 60?
Oof. Well, yeah, so we are 1/3 of the way through. And I will say that it is more active this Monday than it was last Monday, which was in effect a snow out. Really nothing happened. But the House of Delegates had 3 bills up for final passage today. They concluded their floor session in a half hour. The most interesting of the 3 bills that the House had today was House Bill 4036, relating to stricter enforcement for parking in a handicap designated spot. That one wasn't really hotly debated, but it's one that people can relate to if they have had frustrations trying to find a parking spot. The Senate is still going, and they had 7 bills up for passage today. One of the more interesting, the first one on the agenda was Senate Bill 61, which was a bill related to the counting of illegal ballots. It would prohibit counting of ballots cast in incorrect precincts. There was a little bit of arguing over that because, you can imagine if your precinct has changed or if you've just moved to a location or you're just confused, you might go to the wrong precinct and accidentally cast a ballot there. Typically, there are provisions for casting ballots that are not perfect. You can cast a provisional ballot and work it out later, but this one would put more clamps on ballots considered, not okay on election day.
Isn't that why we have a canvas? Isn't that why the county commission gets together and undertakes the process? I mean, here we go again. Why do we need more laws than necessary to get the water to come out of the faucet when you turn it on? I don't get it.
Hang on. You're on a roll today. Columbus jumping off halfway there and water coming out of the faucet. You're on a roll. You're right. You can cast it. You show up at the wrong precinct. You can cast a provisional ballot. It'll be taken care of after the fact. That way it doesn't get counted twice. Why?
That little vein in my forehead is starting to pop. I'm just going to calm down.
Columbus jumping off halfway there, huh? That was a pretty good one. I'm going to use that.
And why do we need more laws than necessary to get the water to come out of the faucet? There you go.
Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny, presented by AARP, your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State. Brad, it's been a week. We've missed you. We will see you tomorrow.
Oh, I thought you meant it's been a week already. Feels that way.
It does. It's only Monday. Brad, appreciate it, buddy. See you tomorrow at the Capitol.
Bye.
Back to wrap it up after this.
Hospitals drive West Virginia's economy. They produce jobs and create opportunities while keeping our communities healthy. Employing nearly 54,000 people, West Virginia hospitals rank among our state's largest and most dependable employers. They provide more than $1 billion in community benefits and generate nearly $17 billion in total economic impact each year. Hospitals are investing where it counts, advancing health, ensuring access to care, and powering West Virginia's economic future.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at wvha.org.
Kids deserve care that's as specialized as they are. At WVU Medicine, Golisano Children's Pediatric Urology, we treat everything from urinary tract issues and kidney problems to bladder and genital conditions with expertise and compassion. Our team uses advanced techniques designed for growing bodies so your child gets the best care possible. Call 855-WVU-CARE to schedule an evaluation or visit WVUkids.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain State's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. A WBRC media event.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
It's high school basketball season, and Metro News Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream Metro News Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in-store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. Powerball jackpot $65 million. Mega Millions jackpot is $323 million. So go ahead, play today. Got asked this morning, TJ, going to talk about the Grammys today? I said absolutely. Oh, darn, we're out of time.
I missed it. Sorry.
And we were going to do like a whole full breakdown too, but unfortunately we're out of time. It's a shame.
Didn't even know they were last night until you brought it up. So there you go.
We'll be back at the state capitol tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. I hope you'll join us for that. This is Talk Line on Metro News for 40 years. The voice of West Virginia.